Welcome to Toffee TV. It is my three things. Everton 0, Wolves 1. Another defeat in the Premier League for Everton. It just seems like every one I do with these at the moment is a defeat. Yeah, crazy and very, very sad. Let's begin with the players. I don't know whether they realise the situation they're in. I don't know whether they just think everything will work out. But I remember there was 18 games to go. I'm thinking we'll get a few points in these next ones, and it means that when we go into that last batch of games, we'll already have points on the board, and we'll only need one win every couple of games or whatever. And we're at 12 games to go, and we've had one win in those games, and we're not even taking points. Draws from games that, yes, maybe we could win. Today we were the better side in the first half. They were by far the better side in the second half, and we still lost the game. And that's a worrying trend for any team. And these players don't seem to know what to do. They don't seem to know how to play football at times. I've said that on my Mathew reaction. The idea of football is that you score more than the opposition. We don't seem to know what you do to score a goal other than just hope Richarlison does it. It's very worrying. We went behind today and players started to hide, didn't want the ball, passed it back every time they got it. No one was brave apart from, say, Anthony Gordon. And that is terrifying. We don't go down the wings and throw lots of crosses in. We don't work it on the edge of the box and get lots of shots in. We don't make runs through from midfield and play 1-2s and get in that way. So I don't know how we expect to score a goal other than Richarlison doing something. And that is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know what. I look at these players and I always felt we'd have enough to get out of it. But right now, looking at that today has petrified me. I've come out of Goodison there almost feeling like it's over. And that is a terrible place to be when there's 12 games and a lot of points still left to play for. But I just look at them players and I do wonder if it means the same to them as what it does to. Obviously it doesn't, it's a job to them. But what an embarrassing thing if you're a professional footballer being part of an Everton team that hadn't been relegated for 70 years or 69 years, whatever it is, and you're in the team that goes down when on paper, really, you shouldn't be in any kind of trouble. And yet, I know the game's played on grass, and that's why Everton are where they are. But I'd be embarrassed. I'd be giving everything, and I don't think enough of them do give everything. They were all over the place today. Wolves, once they scored the goal, it became like a training game to them, and we had no idea. Midfield too was shocking. I've said before, there was really only Ben Godfrey who I thought did quite well, and Anthony Gordon. Out the rest of them, Richarlison, I think had a goal, but he was ineffective. The rest of them, I thought, were way below par. Jordan Pickford was fine. The rest of them were way, way, way below par. And you can't do it when you need points. That game would be infuriating at the time if you were going for Europe or if you were mid-table even. When you are fighting for your life and your players turn in a response like that. We got beat 5-0 the other night at Spurs in an embarrassing display. We should have been out all guns blazing today, really working hard, getting around the pitch, putting tackles in, making it intense. We had a good little 10 minutes. The first half an hour, we were the better side, but we still hadn't forced their goalie into loads of great saves, or they weren't panicking or anything. We just had a lot of the ball, and we won it back quite a lot, but we didn't really do anything in the final third. And that momentum or tempo or whatever you want to call it whittled away. And there was no response. And I just think to us, being away at a team, fighting for their lives and being 1-0 up with 25 minutes to go and thinking we wouldn't be able to get out of our own half, our own box. And yet they just had it so comfortable for them. There was little flurries. Richarlison had an opportunity put wide. And that worries me. It worries me that where is it? Where are the leaders? Where are the battlers? Where are the players who pull each other together? I just don't see any. Second thing I want to talk about is Frank Lampard. And this is more an overall thing going forward as to anything today. Yeah, I wouldn't have picked what he picked today, and the subs wouldn't have been what I'd chose, but he'll make mistakes. We know he's not perfect, but it's early on in his reign. These players have let so many managers down that he'll just be another one in that list, so there's nothing, no one should really be surprised there. But I look longer term and think, even if the worst thing happens and we do get relegated, then I think we have to keep Frank Lampard in place. I think you have to let him build something in the summer. This was always going to be a big task. Farhad Moshiri has to shoulder most of the blame for this season. Yes, there's been mitigating circumstances. We've had a lot of injuries. It hasn't helped us. We've had no centre-backs, really. We've had 2 centre-backs that aren't good enough, really. We've lost our best one. We've lost our centre midfielder, our best one for 12 weeks over the course of the season. The centre forward still can't play 2 games in the run. It's been in for 5 months. It's been a shit show, of course. It is, pardon my French. But Farhad Moshiri chose Rafa Benitez against the wishes of the fans, which put us on the back foot. Other things kicked in, and it was a perfect storm almost. But Frank Lampard's come in late on in the season, relatively late on in the season, and we're in this dire position. So I would leave him in, regardless of what happens over the next 12 games in the summer, and let him build for next season, because we need some continuity. We need to allow someone to get into the club and start putting their stamp on it. Because otherwise we replace him again with who this time? It just becomes repetitive, counterproductive, and we are where we are because of doing that over the course of time in the last 6 or 7 years. So we have to absolutely support the manager, back him and his staff, and hopefully he can start building something in the summer. Now, if that means trying to get promotion, which I just can't believe him saying it, or if it's trying to build something in the Premier League that makes us a better side, we have to back him and stick with it, and hopefully we will do. And let's finish on a positive. I thought Anthony Gordon, again today, while it wasn't his best game, I thought he worked his socks off for the team. You know, it's one of them with Anthony Gordon that you do probably put a little bit more pressure on him than we should, to unlock them or to create something, because others aren't doing it. Damari Gray's come back today, and while he's been really good for us this season, he wasn't very good today. But he will get better, I imagine. Richarlison is hit and miss at the moment. But I think with Anthony Gordon, we're giving him the ball a lot. He's taking people on. He works so hard. Some of his decision-making's not right at the minute. It's not quite there, but it'll come. But I just thought, again, he was another bright spark today. It was between him and Ben Godfrey for man of the match. I gave it to Godfrey because he's been out, and I thought he'd come back and did a good job today. But I think Anthony Gordon is definitely a bright spot from what has been a horrible season. He's commanding to play every week. I think he's someone who will get better and better. The work rate's there, the application's there, his ability levels are there, he looks quicker. It's just decision making now and adding more goals to his game. And of course I could sit here and rant on about negative stuff, and it's easy to do that, but I just thought I'd finish with a positive. And in this awful football season, he is one of the certainly the brightest moment, the brightest shining star of positivity that we've got this season, and hopefully he'll continue to improve. Yeah, there you go. They're my 3 things from today. It's quite a depressing day to be an Evertonian. And it's we've got Newcastle on Thursday, which will be another horrible game of football. Games are running out, and Everton need wins. That's it from me. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Enjoyed the rest of your day. See you later.